Berlin, Germany, home of the LEC Spring Playoffs. Round 1 was fully lit, and this week we're expecting a close fight in the lower bracket, starting with Schalke 04 and Fnatic facing off in a direct elimination match. We see both teams here, but for upset, this matchup carries a lot of weight as he looks to continue his great opening season with Fnatic by taking down the org he made finals with in his very first year. Storylines, baby. We got him.
Oh, yeah.
We do. I'm Sjokz, joined by Ender, and our special guest for today and tomorrow, Astralis' jungler and tax collector extraordinaire, Zanzarah. Hi, Zanzarah.
Hello, hello, hello. Big fan of LEC. Hello, I'm ready to watch some quality games.
Yeah, we are
Don't
too.
steal my money.
Yeah, don't steal our money. And I mean, hopefully for all of you, the games will deliver as well. And that they did. And their week 1 went against expectations in that sometimes week 1s of the playoffs, they're kind of washes, you know. There could be a 9-0 week, but it was entirely the opposite.
Oh man, I predicted the 9-0 week. I could not have been more wrong because from day 1, SK put up a serious fight against Fnatic, of course. Then Schalke pushed G2 to all 5 games. Our series ended up being so insanely competitive with even that upset win on Sunday.
That it was. Zanzarah, what was your take on round 1 of the LEC playoffs?
Yeah, for me, I thought G2 gonna 3-0. I think Fnatic gonna 3-0 and we just go home. But for some reason, Schalke just was too good. G2 was not that good, so it was like 3-2, pretty close. I want to show my respect to Schalke, of course. It was insane performance. And, of course, to SK. SK have a great battle versus Fnatic. So I'm ready to see what Fnatic can show us today versus Schalke.
Yeah, that's a great point. Great summary there. Let's talk a little bit about Fnatic versus SK. Fnatic looking much better than week 8, but on the other hand, SK also looking phenomenal, bringing them all the way to that final game.
And the best thing about this for SK was through the regular season, it was all about their bot lane, right? Treats was this absolute machine in the bot lane. Seemed like every game SK won, it was through their bot lane, carrying Jezu, everything you could possibly want from an ADC player. But in this series, it was Genx. It was the top laner that absolutely popped off. Everyone's going to remember this Urgot performance, the 1v2 against Selfmade and upset in the bottom lane. Genx could not have had a better game, could not have had a better series, and I feel like for SK, the individual players and the team have so much to be proud at walking away from that.
That's a great point. And Zanzarah, yeah, SK also a team that came into the season being completely different, right? Than we saw them last year, so this is a very good start for them.
Yes, but I disagree with Ender. I think SK was not that good last week. They lose to bottom team, to this bottom team. They lost, so it doesn't. They were not that good. But yeah, I agree. On playoffs, they show pretty good level. I think both Fnatic and SK show better performance than expected. And Fnatic was just better on a day, but I think there was like a lot of highlights from Genx, for example, from both teams, I think.
Well, hang on, if you say that SK wasn't that good because you beat them, then surely Fnatic wasn't that good either, or what's this read?
No. I mean, in end of this regular season.
Yeah, I think you're saying good teams don't lose to Astralis.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. Self-burn. Okay. Those are rare. Okay. Moving on, we also had G2 versus Schalke. Schalke is a team that had a bit of an up and down season, I would say, until arriving in playoffs. But then Zanzarah, it's like we saw a completely new Schalke 04.
Yeah, I think Broken Blade is completely broken. Broken Blade just 1v9. I think Darius' performance was insane, but of course, kind of G2 let it happen. They just blind pick sign over and over, and just like Broken Blade come, kill us. And yeah, but overall, I think everyone from Schalke stepped up. Gilius did what he is supposed to do. Bot lane was performing really well, and of course, Broken Blade just player of the series.
Yeah, I mean, I love the plan that Schalke came in with as well, because we were sort of, you know, expecting Schalke to have something a little bit unorthodox coming into the game. It ended up being the sign, because towards the end of the regular season, everyone's like, oh, well, they're playing like the Karma top, Seraphine in the bot lane. They had these different draft ideas. That game against Excel with the Nocturne mid lane, Karthus jungle too. So it was nice to see they had a plan. And the fact that G2 didn't respect it for so many games in a row, let them farm a few wins.
And so cool also the pick and ban strategy. And then in that 5th game, the Seraphine coming out and just, it was lovely. And that's just what you come to expect from best of 5s. It gets a lot crazier than it does in best of 1s. And the same was true for Mad versus Rogue. Zanzarah, Rogue was, I think, the favorite in that matchup. But Mad just came with a fantastic game plan to outplay them.
Yep. But for me, to be honest, I think Mad Lions shows better improvement from the week 1 of the regular split. Rogue kinda was playing worse and worse week after week from the middle of the season, and they didn't really step up on the playoffs. I think they were kind of on the same level as the last 2 weekends. But Mad Lions look like a really solid team right now, and I think they can even beat G2.
Yeah, and a follow-up question then. What did you not see from Rogue that you normally do see that makes them win games? Why did they fall in this best of 5?
I didn't see wins. The enemy Nexus didn't explode. This is the main difference. But okay, to be honest, to be serious, Rogue didn't look as clean as they were looking at the first part of the regular season. They lost two games when they have a lead, and it's really rare when it happened in the regular season. I think it's happened like once or twice, and it happened 2 times in one best of 5 series.
Yeah, and I think for Rogue, a lot of their early game usually revolves down to like Inspired going for very high efficiency pathing, while his lanes normally win out largely on their own, then use that pressure to help him out in the jungle too. But because Elyoya was like, forget that, I'm not just gonna full clear and ward your jungle, he spent so much time focusing around the bot lane, really just blowing up that lane. It felt like even though Inspired was getting a lot of individual leads on his own, because bot lane was just so explosive, Mad Lions were able to sort of force the issue and make the early game very uncontrolled, and that's where Rogue seem to struggle a bit. If you look at their games against like G2 during the regular season, if you throw a lot at them early and you don't let them sort of just out pressure you in the early game, they fall down.
And that makes the lower bracket now ender insanely spicy as well, with Fnatic versus Schalke today, and then the winner that will be facing Rogue, which was probably unexpected if you've been following Rogue throughout this regular season.
No, absolutely. I mean, everyone had Rogue as the #2 team, and now all of a sudden you have the potential to blow that out of the water. Is Mad our definitive second best team? Was it just a good day for them and a bad day for Rogue? We really don't know what's underneath G2.
Let me ask Zanzarah then, do you have a cheeky prediction as for, the way the championship may go or the finals?
Before playoffs, I would say G2 gonna be top 100%. But right now, after first round, there is so many questions. So I think Mad Lions versus G2, this is for sure 50-50. And this is not about round 2, but it's more about how team gonna adapt, because Mad Lions, for me, Mad Lions after round 1 seems the favorite.
And look, I love your building up hope for other teams, but we've seen G2 lose a series to Mad Lions last spring, still win playoffs. They lost in round 2 versus Fnatic last year, still won playoffs too. So I will not hold out that G2 aren't our definitive best team until I see them actually drop in the finals.
All right, we'll see what happens indeed. Meta-wise, we saw some action in the jungle as always. A lot of bans for FLICKR. He only got let through that first game in Fnatic versus SK, then was banned. So we saw a new jungler rise to prominence, being Volibear in the jungle. Zanzarah, what's good about this pick in the jungle right now?
Yeah, I like Volibear. This is my boy. Volibear is like budget Hecarim. If Hecarim is banned, you pick Volibear. But Volibear is easy to play. You just run, you just press your ultimate and you die people. You don't need to set up the waves, you don't need to chunk people. You just press buttons and kill. So it's easy to execute. You just buy a champ tank, you run, you have 2k movement speed and kill people. So I hope people will pick up it more.
Yeah, I mean, I think his early skirmishing, his early ganking, all really insane. I always think of Jankos whenever I see him do that. The insane kind of, that one. Yeah. Exactly. No, but honestly, for junglers, especially that are trying to influence lanes earlier on and not just go into the full clear farming patterns, Volibear is going to do it for you. And again, I would cite the Mad Lions versus Rogue series where Elyoya on that Hecarim was just spam ganking lanes and not really giving their opponents time to breathe. And it's possible we see this pick up more steam moving into week 2.
Yeah, we'll see. Indeed, after a promising week 1 for the Bear, and also throughout the playoffs, you can participate in our digital activities. Pick up your mobile and go over to lec.gg/rift and join our LEC-themed arcade. You will get access to the virtual studio tour, a new version of the LEC quiz, plus a lot of mini-games featuring the LEC songs. And the top 10 at the end of spring will win LEC merch and in-game content.
Wow!
So we're trying to keep it interactive also, because you can't join us in the studio, but this hopefully should make it worthwhile. And, well, we have another game, because it is almost time for the barbecue. We're gonna fire it up. We're gonna bring out the grill. We're gonna make some burgers. This is LEC Burger Flip. If you haven't seen it before, how it works is we'll throw a clip on screen and ask the question, should the team flip the burger, as in should they go in, or should they not go in? You're clear on the rules, Zanzarah?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All
Nice.
right, let's go. Here's our opening play, and let's take a look at it. All right,
Where's the
do
play?
we think... Okay, so do we think RELL should go in or not? She should engage or not?
Is she
Discuss.
channeling Recall or Hex Flash?
For the sake of this game, yes, it's Hex Flash.
No, it's Hexax. Yes,
Yeah.
for sure, yes, because it's RELL. If you are RELL, you just press buttons and go forward. There is no way
Oh.
back. You see enemy, you go. Okay, I mean, they have all flashes,
Yeah.
but you should force them to make a mistake. So I think... wait, but this is probably Hulisang, so it's then it's 50-50.
See, I'm a little
But-
nervous because
but
there's
I
like a
feel-
Cassiopeia, a Zaya on the other side. That might be a little
Doesn't
challenging.
matter, but but the logic is because enemy team thinks RELL cannot go in, this is why RELL should go in.
Okay, are you gonna go with
They don't
Zanzarah?
expect it.
I don't like it here. I mean, we've got like a little cloud rift going on, so like they could disengage, they can play back, they can buy some
All right,
space. from
Ender
RELL.
says she should
Don't
go
flip
in.
it.
Zanzarah says
Don't flip it.
Let's see. Does she flip it?
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you. It's a RELL. She's gonna flip it, of course. Boom, boom.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, it looks like I'm a genius.
And it was
looks
Hillis.
like I'm a genius. Wait, unless Hecarim's too deep. Okay, we're missing our ults now. Okay, guys. Now both teams are just flipping.
Did you see the reveal that it was Hilly on the RELL?
Yeah, nice,
you
nice.
did? Yeah.
Okay, I
so
win.
good read there.
Sabotage.
Easy win,
This
easy
is
dubs.
sabotage
So
engage.
first rule, Zanzarah
Sabotage.
says always
Astralis,
go
you know
in
where
if
to
you're
find
RELL.
me.
Zanzarah always go in on RELL? Apparently not. Next up, let's take a look at the next clip. And the question is, if the red team should engage with... Oh, this is such a choke.
It's like the same place.
With the Orianna ultimate, yes or no? Should Orianna engage with the ultimate?
Well, yes.
Oh.
I remember this play,
No.
and like killing with ulti here is correct. Going further after that into a choke point against Azir, that is not correct. Using your ultimates at the same time, because what's going to happen in this play? I know this play.
Well,
Sorry,
don't-
guys.
then don't.
Well, don't. Okay, well then why am I playing the game?
Why? Because if you
I
know it, you
changed my
can...
mind. I changed my mind. Yes, she should.
She should, but the real question is, should Malphite and Volibear both ult at the same time and then get knocked away by an Azir wall? And that, the answer is absolutely not.
All right, let's play it out. And there's a party
Agreed.
keeper. He knows.
This is good. The Orianna, very good. Then watch Volibear, he goes in.
Yeah.
Then both Unstoppables
Yeah.
go at the same time to the Azir wall. Beautiful. If they'd done one, waited for the wall, and then gone Unstoppable over the next, maybe it's winnable.
You
but
cast this one, didn't you?
I did cast this
Yeah.
one. And they learned the next game, Volibear was always flashing in with Q to bait out the Azir wall and then using his ultimate to get over the Azir.
Matt actually learned.
Yeah, they learned. They got better over the
All
series.
right, cool. Finally, we're gonna let Zanzarah take the lead here in case he recognizes it. Well, maybe it's an Astralis game. Who knows? Next up, should the blue
Astralis
team...
game? Yeah, I'm ready.
We'll see. I don't know if it is. Should the blue team burger flip and engage after getting the pick on Vayne? So should they do Baron, actually, after getting the pick on Vayne?
Okay.
All right, so pick on
What
Vayne.
was that damage?
Oh, we've already seen it.
Oh my god.
Oh, wait.
So the blue team, the question is, should they do Baron? Yeah, it's a no-brainer, no?
Okay, no. Okay, I can say like this, Astralis gonna go Baron here, for sure. No matter what.
Astralis
So,
would go Baron.
so my answer is yes.
Yes.
My answer is no. You've lost every ultimate except for Azir wall, and I think this is Darius Kingdom. That's my prediction.
But it's Baron.
Yeah, Darius, they're all inside the tiny pit. You want to trap your... What's the Azir wall going to do? Lock your team in the
Let's
pit?
see. Let's play
I
it
don't
out.
know.
Let's take
I don't
a
know.
look. I'm a big fan of going for Baron.
It's
Darius
Darius
no
Kingdom.
Darius no flash.
There we go.
Darius no flash, but they have Orianna ult, they have All-Star ultimate.
They have a RELL.
Oh,
The enemy
it's
team-
Darius Kingdom.
Oh.
He's level 14.
Oh, it's gonna be a
No.
disaster.
But this is sabotage. This is sabotage.
Oh, Udir's
Look
going to
what is
steal
RELL
it.
doing. What?
Oh, no, but... Oh.
No, but RELL sabotaging the game. It doesn't count, Master. Like the RELL sabotaging.
Why is she sabotaging?
RELL just hit. She's hitting Nasher for what? Why are you hitting Nasher? Your support, some enemy. What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, if we'd known it was Yanko Smite, we would have known
Sabotage.
instantly. Don't do
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Thank you for that. I think I learned a lot about the game, or maybe not. You know.
Learned a lot about cooking. I don't know.
We did. So we'll see where the burger lands tonight in tonight's series, as it's do or die for Schalke and for Fnatic.
Yeah, it's serious.
Oh, look at mid lane. Keep your eyes on the prize. Clean flash out from Niski. The sidestep, he's leaping forward, but the fear comes in, but the charm misses on the fear target. The snap back in. Disaster outplayed by Niski. Self-made with the punish. The flash in for the ultimate. Insult to injury. From behind. Now the follow-up is here. Fnatic absolutely devastating SK.
I haven't won a title for a long time in Europe, and I would really like to have that feeling back. I feel like Schalke is one of the teams that they are very similar towards us, so you could say that they're weaker, but you don't know what you hit on the day.
Selfmade going in, he's denying the towers. Fnatic are here for LEC playoffs. Here comes the Noxian Guillotine! It's in the Ultra and Broken Blade! Bring down the axe! Looking for the pentakill, can't quite get it now. One just trying to get over the wall. Broken Blade! Pulls it right back in! A pentakill for Broken Blade! Standing there, waiting. The channel coming out. They're looking for the knockup, but there's only 1,000 HP on the Baron. Gilius could steal it. The shotgun goes out. It's 140 on Abadage!
Fnatic right now, they just, no matter what, they will fight you. So we're gonna look to abuse this fact, and we're gonna, you know, fight back.
Schalke couldn't make it versus G2 last week, but something tells me there's a lot more left to be seen of that team, and they are no strangers to miracle runs, and this time they are looking to make their run through the lower bracket towards their first final since 2018. I feel that when we talk about Schalke, because of recent memory, we talk about the miracle run all the time, and that's fine, but alongside that, Schalke has actually been a mainstay in the EULCS then LEC playoffs.
Yeah, this has always been a team that's traditionally struggled in spring and then showed up in summer, and it started in the summer of 2018. The roster with Visit Chachi, Amazing, Nuke Duck, Upset, and Vander making it all the way to the finals against Fnatic. And the story of Upset and Schalke was basically the same. You know, he was the rookie ADC meant to surpass Fnatic. I remember being here, it was my first finals, and then naively believing this is when it happens. This is when Reckless gets dethroned. But in the end, it didn't quite happen, and they took 2019 to try and rebuild the roster.
Yes, that they did. You see there, Odawamne, Trick on that lineup, Upset still as well. Again, the same story. Spring, not that good. Summer split, though. They made the semifinals then again in the 2019 summer. Didn't make it to Worlds, and that's again always a story for me with Schalke. They have that upsurge, they do great, but that last hurdle, they can't seem to make it.
Yeah, making it to that international event, because then again, in 2020, that miracle run happened to the team for the first half of the summer split. Couldn't win a game to save their lives, and then they turned it around and strung every single win together, and that's why I think it's so huge too, because last year, you know, with going online, everyone sort of discounted it just a little bit. They said, you know, Abadage, he's this scrim god. Sure, he performs when they're off the stage. You know, sure, they found their rhythm when it's online play, but then this year, placing fourth in the regular season again, and then taking G2 to all 5 games on a physical stage, that just builds so much hope and faith in this roster.
Yeah, absolutely, and still with a roster that looks still so different from last year, where you have the Limit Neon bot lane now as the mainstay. Gilius and Abadage is still there, but Broken Blade coming in, and this time they do find success already in the spring split, but the question is, how far can they go?
That's the question, right? And no one really knows the answer, because it feels like the first round of playoffs especially, we don't really know what all these teams are doing. Like, how good is Fnatic, you know, falling off towards the end of the season? How good is Schalke taking G2 to all 5 games and their placement on top? This team has the potential to make it to finals weekend.
Yeah, they've made playoffs every single year since 2018, so we'll see what happens. We'll do a bit of a socially distanced walk back to the desk, but the last time Schalke made a deep run in the playoffs, it was with Upset in the bottom lane, and he is also such an interesting character to look at.
I know I'm making this awkward.
Ender does a little dance, and I think Zanzarah is going to join us once again. Speaking of Upset, tonight he is on the other side of the rift, right? And he's wearing the Fnatic jersey, and it's such a great story to watch. How do you feel Upset has integrated into this Fnatic lineup this season, Zanzarah?
Yeah, actually pretty good. I didn't really expect that from him, because last year in Origin, for me, he was kind of KDA player. He was just sitting back most of the game, just waiting for something to happen, and I think he didn't really like force anything, and didn't really perform that well from my point of view. But this season with Fnatic, I feel like they're on the same page even from the week one. They just starting like going in 24/7. There's like a lot of 2v2 kills happening in Fnatic bot lane. I think they have like the most 2v2 kills over the LEC. So yeah, but this kind of plus and minus in the same time, because overall Fnatic style is not really stable. So even if they get a lot of gold leads, it doesn't mean they're gonna win the game. So this is why they're like losing. They lose to SK with 8k lead, and sometimes they're winning games when they're like fully losing early game.
Yeah, it is usually a good sign, though, if Upset gets a really big lead, because he can usually carry that away. And I think that it's so big for Upset to have found, you know, a duo partner and a team that fully supports this aggressive bot lane playstyle. Because I know from talking with him last year, 2 years ago, he wanted to be the guy that was popping off in the 2v2s, loved the Lucian in the bot lane, and whether it was, you know, maybe mismatched styles with support or the team being focused on other lanes, he was never really able to play that way. Yet Fnatic have fully bought in to this style, and it has been the signature lane for Fnatic in the regular season.
Yeah, have we seen that also in the rest of the team? Because we can focus this story around Upset, but we also have to look at the other members on that team who also lost Reckless and needed to adjust to this new system. What have we seen maybe in the way that Fnatic approached the game, Zanzarah, that makes that they now put a higher priority on that bot lane?
I think overall Fnatic was always putting a lot of pressure on bot lane, but this is not the main strength of Fnatic. I think the main strength of Fnatic was top lane. Viper, when he get comfortable matchup, he can get a lot of leads, and we saw it multiple times, even this split, when like he performed versus SK on Riven, just full smash Genex on top lane. So I think, and Viper doesn't look like a guy who gonna pick side and guys, I'm gonna chill, I'm gonna farm creeps, you can carry me. No, he gonna pick Riven, he gonna try to use this last pick as much as he can. So I think we should put our focus more on top lane this series.
Yeah, and I think that when you look at how Fnatic tend to play a lot of their games, like top lane and bot lane are going to be the two most volatile lanes. And then you have a guy like Niski in the mid lane, where if he gets his hand on a Twisted Fate or something with lane prio, will often try to roam to either of those two sides on crashing waves, setup dives with Selfmade. That's often been how Fnatic find plays in the early game, and maybe it was even a little bit different last weekend with Selfmade going on to the more early aggressive jungle picks, and he was sort of finding some ganks on his own, which I think plays really well into Fnatic playstyle, because earlier in the year, I felt like Selfmade would often be on these scaling picks, and yet Fnatic never let off the gas. Like, they were always going for fights, never really finding some time to breathe, and that cost them a few times. So I actually really like seeing a version of Fnatic where they are more focused on an early game ganking jungler to support their lanes that we know always want to be going in.
And we know that last week both teams were very proactive in that early game, be it ganking-wise, but also singularly in the bot lane. We talked about already the solo kills, or the duo kills rather, Hylissang and Upset in the regular season. 11 at the top of the rankings. The bot lane of Schalke didn't have any, but they changed that quickly in the
Yeah, I mean, if you'd asked me about this in the regular season, I'd be really worried about this bot lane matchup, because these guys weren't getting anything done down there, and yet specifically Limit was playing so well mechanically in the bot lane, whether it was when Jankos tried to gank and sort of dragging him underneath towers with clever flashes, or roaming out of the lane to, you know, hit mid lane over and over again. Limit really did find his stride in that series, and if he can replicate that today, that's going to be one of the biggest changes, I feel like, for Schalke between the regular season and the playoffs to contest with the Fnatic.
Yeah, his Gragas was an absolute menace. He was just roaming constantly together with the Gilius. As Zanzarah, do you think this will be one of the keys for Schalke today, or what do you have your eye on for Schalke to win this best of 5?
Yeah, I mean, it's always, if team wins, it's better support, but support is the most broken role, so of course it's expected what better support always wins, and there is like a lot of highlights, I think, in the Rock Mad games when Kaiser had like insane engages. Even in Schalke, Limit gives a lot of opportunity for the team to play, and I think the main point is jungle support synergy. It's always was really important, but right now it's actually main key to victory.
We'll see what happens there. Fantastic matchup. Schalke, as said, looking to make a deep run in the playoffs. And what we also can't forget is that Fnatic is in the lower bracket, which is also something that is a bit foreign to them. For more on today's matchup, though, here's Laure with Gilius.
And thank you very much, Ifyo. Gilius, thank you also for joining me ahead of your game. I guess the craziness against G2 last week taught you a lot. What are the takeaways from this series?
We basically learned that we can go toe-to-toe with the best team in the league. And we learned that 5-game series takes a long time and we have to be patient and you can lose some, win some, you know. Yeah. And other than that, like, they really taught us how to play the game. Like, first 2 games, we had no chance. We couldn't keep up. And we just started to learn from the things they were doing well and try to play like them. Yeah. And then we were winning somehow. So, yeah, we learned quite a bit from them for sure.
Oh, it was so close, really. And I mean, when I look at what you've been doing in this series compared to week 8, for example, I feel like you refined your playstyle to the needs of your team in the sense that you had a lot of impact in the early game, playing way more through lanes. Is it something you did consciously, or tell me about adapting your playstyle from regular season to this playoff series against G2?
Yeah, like going into the series, I knew I had to be the aggressive jungler, trying to win the early game and snowball, right? Because it's usually like whoever takes the first dragons, like first Rift Heralds, decides the tempo of the map.
Yeah.
I have always been playing like this, very dominant in the early game and like trying to get a lead. But I'm not sure. Like overall, the spring split regular season was. We were in a little slump and lost some confidence, so I think that's why I couldn't really show it.
It takes time to find your marks, actually, and you almost beat G2 last week. You're going to face Fnatic later today. Limit had an interview, actually, with Tom this week, where he said that against Fnatic, you can expect anything. They will take it to the streets. It's going to be bloody as hell. Do you agree on that? What do you expect from Fnatic today?
Yeah, I expect a bloody, like, aggressive series. Like, I'm really excited to play, actually. I know that there will be a lot of fighting and they won't just give us free stuff and they will, like, Hylissang will be coming and fighting. So, yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I mean, the better team will win. Like the last time we scrimmed them, I think we did pretty well with them. So I think we match well with them.
Talking to your manager last week before facing G2, he told me, hey, you know what, the guys are going to take this as a good training no matter what happens. Yeah. What is the mindset for you guys today?
Yeah, we have nothing to lose. We already made it here. Like, we're happy with the spring split already. Anything else is just a plus. So we will come out swinging and fighting, you know, like there's nothing to lose. I think we will always be the underdogs throughout this whole playoff. So we're just here to have fun.
Well, good luck and have fun today then, Mr. Gilius. Thank you for the interview, and back to you, Sjokz.
Thank you very much. Oh my God, it's so great to be back in the studio, and the players are here, and Laure's here. It's all Ender's here too, but whatever. Anyway,
oh, okay, I see how this is.
Great interview by Gilius there, who is, you know, a bit calm, admitting that they had some ups and downs in the season, but that everything now actually is a bonus. But, you know, in the deepest of their hearts, they want to continue and they want to beat Fnatic. So, without further ado, what are your predictions for today and why, Ender?
All right. Let me preface this by saying I think these two teams are very closely matched, but I do think that bot lane is going to be very pivotal in this series, and I have to give Fnatic a pretty significant edge there. Even with last week's performance, I still think they've got it. And I am a fan of bold predictions, so I'm going with a 3-0. It might not be a 3-0 because these teams are close, but I'm bold.
Okay, Zanzarah, what is your prediction?
Okay. I think I would put Schalke 3-1. I think versus G2, Schalke shows insane level compared to regular season. So I really have a hope. I think both teams kind of increase their performance from the regular season, but I think Schalke. Actually, as Gilius said, they can adapt throughout the series, and I think this is what Fnatic kind of doesn't have. And I think if Schalke lose first game to Fnatic, they can easily adapt their playstyle and beat them. I hope Gilius can do that.
We'll see. Discord voted in favor of Fnatic 3-1, I believe. So the fandom there behind them. I love it too.
I can't be wrong 4 times in a row.
Maybe you can. There is so much on the line in tonight's series as Schalke and Fnatic fight for their lives in the opening matchup of round 2.
This past week has been completely and totally insane. On paper, we expected a 9-0 week, but instead we had G2 versus Schalke going the distance, going to 5 games, feeling winnable for Schalke. And it's so exciting to see how Rogue and Mad have developed as well.
Against Mad Lions, I don't really feel threatened. I feel like they're worse than last year, and I think they're better than last year. Don't see how we can lose, honestly.
Against Shockwave, Caps just looking for the auto attack. The Everfrost comes out, Neon dives in. Caps able to flash away and get the kill. Wonder coming in, and the pain train is not stopping at the Schalke station. G2 able to pick up another couple in this top lane fight. G2 will go through to the upper bracket.
Facing G2, I will not think like it will be much difference between Rogue, because I think Rogue was really strong this year also.
I think last year we only won because honestly they were kind of trolling and not taking seriously, I think. But this year I think we can win even if they play seriously.
It's got the Shockwave available, a number of targets. Inspired dashes forward. Shockwave comes out. Humanoid takes him out to the solo kill, but in the back of the fight. Now Hunt running for his life. Mad Lions have destroyed Rogue where they stand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. His armor dashes forward once again. Cyclone is a few seconds away. Here comes Yoya bringing the thunder. And Lions have done it. They've got Lawson. They've got Hunt. They've aced Rogue. And Mad Lions will have a rematch with G2.
Getting a title back again will be a huge achievement to me and to my team.
Schalke is the weakest from the top 4 that we could choose to play against.
Barely, but now SK wants to take a fight. He flew up to the side. Keep your eyes on that charm. Jax doing good damage with a follow-up knock. Oh, hey! Nifsky! That's a hero play! But they've spotted him out, and now it's time to collapse. They've interrupted Treats. Treats is going to get taken down. Treats now has to run for the hills. The backline gone as Upset leaps in with the ultimate. Follow-up is too easy for Fnatic. They have routed SK.
Honestly, to me, it doesn't really matter who I play. Play without regret. Go on stage and see what happens after, you know.
Broken with the decimate, heals himself back up. Caps with the shot, stays in pentakill to Quadra, and Broken Blade bring down the axe. Looking for the pentakill, can't quite get it now. Wonder trying to get over the wall. Broken Blade pulls him right back in. A pentakill for Broken Blade. Here comes Aatrox G2. You've been in this spot before, and the Aatrox hands, and the Emperor finds his victims.
Fnatic is a tough team. They will just try to always fight you if they can. Schalke is a really different team. I still think we can win. We're probably better than most of the teams.
Larson shutting out the way, take the trades.
Oh, the feral scream! Moving backwards as Inspired found Humanoid. Managed to get the pounce and the swipe. Hans Sama will pick up the kill onto Yoya after losing Trimbing. Here comes Lawson. He picks up the second. That's Hans Sama with the double. Kaiser's the next one to fall. A triple kill for Aphelios.
Every team wants to win, and for the longest time it's felt like G2 were a sure thing. But with Schalke going 5 games, as the pressure continues to mount, I think more and more teams are going to believe that it is possible to win, that it is possible to take the trophy, to take the win overall.